Welcome, guys. How you doing? Hamburger Podcast. Let me just make sure. Well, I'm not the podcast, but you know what I'm saying. Let me just make sure my volume is working. Just go. Okay. Good. Hey, one person who left. Again, I am totally unconcerned with who watches and who doesn't, because in the legacy of it, people will look back and realize that the things I was saying hold 100% true. Amazingly true. I realize my conflict with so many people is that I'm neither right nor left. I'm human. There's a lot of us out there that are the same way. We're human. That's what we are. That's what we identify as a human being. I can't buy into a lot of things. Like I can't back a lot of things that say things about me because they're not true. Just stuff like that. So I want to start off with a horn honk. I leave my window open because I like you guys to hear Hollywood. By the way, there's going to be major protests and crazy shit tonight. The young me wants to go out there and get shit so bad, but I'll tell you guys honestly, during the LA riots, the original Rodney King riots, I didn't loot. I helped protect stores of people in the neighborhood. The people in the stores in the neighborhood were all either Latin or Asian, and or black, or very few black, very few whites, but mostly Latin or Asian that owned all the stores. So we were helping friends and family and stuff like that, well, friends and their family, to protect their stores during the LA riots. Now, but I'm saying though, I always get this urge lately to just go to one of these stores and start grabbing diamonds or grabbing shit because fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets old. By the way, Amazon sucks now. Amazon has hired way too many fucking people. I'm sick of couples showing up to my house. First of all. Second of all, I just ordered Amazon and I had them show up and they were out in front hanging out with one of my neighbors who's a YouTube dude. And so they're hanging out with him and taking pictures and shit while my fucking food sat out there, and then they forgot shit. And it was horrible. Worst service ever. Anyway, I'm just saying Amazon's like on this hiring. You know what it is? People are like, oh, Amazon's hiring. That's fantastic. Yesterday I was a doctor. Today I deliver food for Amazon. Not cool. You know what I'm saying? There's not more jobs happening. There's just more labor jobs happening. There's a lot of people that had really good jobs that are now doing rideshare and Amazon and Walmart delivery and shit like that, 15, 17 hours a day just to get by. Okay, so I want to bring something up. Young man, Andreas Gerardo, I'm going to say his name wrong. Again, I honestly believe was a student of mine. But he was shot in the back 5 times. He was committing no crime. He was in no way wanted for anything. The police showed up under suspicion. He just got scared for some reason, because I think he got scared because maybe his family wasn't supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Latin people that are really nervous when cops show up, and they do take off. But he took off. He didn't fight the cops and then take off. He didn't do anything. It wasn't.
New details surrounding the death of 18-year-old Andres Guardado. An independent autopsy shows he was shot 5 times in the back by LA County deputies last month. The report also reveals he did not have any drugs or alcohol in his system at the time. Guardado was on duty as a security guard for a Gardena body shop. Investigators say he was carrying an illegal firearm and ran from deputies, but family members dispute that claim.
What this confirms is that he was unjustifiably shot in the back, and it was an excessive use of force, and he posed no threat to the deputies or the people at the time of the shooting. His back was turned to him, and he has 5 shots to the back.
The Sheriff's Department says it has not released details of the county coroner's report because it does not want to compromise or taint the investigation. The FBI is monitoring the case. New details.
Yes, follow me on this. So here's the deal. So this guy, this kid, might have had a firearm. I'm not saying he didn't have a firearm. He saw himself as a security guard. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't have a firearm if he did have one. And I'm guessing he might have. But here's the point. He didn't pull out the firearm. They didn't see a firearm. You can see in the video, there's nothing. And nobody's shown a firearm. So I'm going to go with he didn't have a firearm. But if this is who I think it is, I taught this kid, and he was literally the most peaceful, cool, total lady killer kid. And so the deal is, we're not saying his name. We're not saying his name. Does that make sense? Ooh, someone left a comment. Let me see. Thank you, brother. Oh, yeah. But we're not saying his name. Why? Do you think it might be because the cops who shot him were Latin and it doesn't work for the agenda? Because I believe her name is Vanessa. I'm going to have to look it up on my phone now. That's where we're at nowadays, people. This is what I'm trying to say, though. Please. And also, guys, I don't know. I've been checking out a lot of Ben Shapiro. Again, my only disagreement with Ben Shapiro is pretending that anyone can make it and it doesn't matter from where you come. That's a lie. And that's what rich kids say so they can feel better about what they did. Now, I say that. Other than that, I agree with most of what Ben Shapiro is saying. Also, I want to talk about the TikTok second layer. A lot of people aren't aware of the TikTok second layer. Hold on one second. Oh, did anyone see that? Did anyone else see when did they take my thing down? I think they did. I think they did. That's crazy. They took it down. Okay. Anyhow, follow me on this. So Jessica Alba is doing a thing with who is it? What's her name? Union, Gabriella Union. Jessica Alba. And Jessica Alba says, this is them. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah. So Jessica Alba says, I'm Latina. And Gabriella Union is obviously black. And I thought, why obviously? Why is she obviously black? She could be Cuban. She could be Haitian. She could be so many things. But she could be Mexican. She could be Jewish. She could be Israeli. She could be Palestinian. She could be so many things and look that way. Why obviously black? But Jessica Alba just says that and nobody says shit. I hear it and it rings in my ears so bad. You know why it rings in my ears bad? Because I don't have a racist bone in my body. And when I hear shit that sounds like that, it's like, ew, how are you obviously black, man? Anyway, I mean, I get color-wise, but that's not what black means. If black meant color, then 3% of all the people we call black would actually be black. If white meant color, then 3% of all the fucking white people would actually be white. Like, I'm not white. I'm peaches, avocado, salami skinned is what I am. I'm like a salami pimento loaf type of skin, but it's not white. But I'm white, you see, and I'm Jewish. I'm 100% Jewish, but I'm white. And that's the point I'm trying to make is why, but she gets to say that. That's no problem. Everyone gets to say everything they want unless you're not on the right side. Amy Schumer can make all kinds of racist jokes, and that's all funny and fine because she's on the right side for the media. And that's the problem. And so here's the deal is we're not hearing about Andres. We're not hearing, and I don't know why they took down my, I'm really mad about that. They took down my post because I said, that's what I mean. That's how Facebook is though. See, that's what people aren't getting. They took down my post where I was talking about the fact that, and I got to remember her name now. And you know what sucks is I can't remember her name because we're not saying it. But the Marine who was killed, and they tried to cover it all up. They did everything they could to hide it. etc., etc. And so the simple fact, what I'm trying to say is, it's so, people don't understand. It is so goddamn upsetting what's allowed and what's going on in front of our faces. This kid did nothing. He wasn't wanted. They weren't coming after him. They weren't at the wrong place, but looking for someone. It was literally mistake. And they never showed a gun. Yet it's over. It's not talked about. It's done. But again, the Marine girl, done, over. Why? Because her killer was black. Over, done. There was a woman who was just recently shot because her went at the deputies, and they went at the deputy, and the deputy shot a bunch of times at the dog, hitting the woman on the floor, killing her. She wasn't under arrest or anything. White woman, you barely hear about it. Young autistic kid shot by police running away in the back, white kid. You won't hear about it. This is the thing. I care about everybody who's getting shot wrongfully, everybody who's getting killed, all this stuff going on, and I care, and I don't care your race. I care across the board. Why? Because I'm a white-looking Jew who has two older kids who are Welsh, Greek, and Jewish. My youngest daughter is black, Haitian, actually, Haitian, African, and Jewish. And she looks black, though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like her features and everything, you'd say she's a black kid. She has just, like, if these things are all true, she has just as much chance of getting killed as every other black person out there. And so, yeah, it does bother me. Yeah, it does scare me. It scares the shit out of me. I worry every day that if this shit's all like it is and everything and this happens, holy but fuck, this is not cool. I am worried as hell for my daughter, but I talk to her, I explain. And this is the thing. My daughter will say some things like, you know, oh, that Black Lives Matter. This is my 10-year-old who's half black. She'll say things like, oh, I'm so sick of the Black Lives. I go, baby, no. You're half black. Don't ever get caught up in being, oh, I'm so sick. No. This and that. And what's funny is my oldest daughter, who's Jewish, Greek, and Welsh, she's like super activist, hardcore, like, oh my God, she thinks what happened with Breonna Taylor is the worst thing in the world and all these things and da-da-da. Floyd, George Floyd and all this stuff. But this, what I'm saying is, before we go burning anything or destroying anything, let's slowly just watch the facts. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's hard for me to really comment on all this because, I mean, the fact is, I heard somebody, I forget her name, she's a goddamn radio host, but this woman, and she was saying that, she's like, I couldn't believe it. We made shirts, we protested, we went out and said her name, and they still came back with this decision. And I thought, oh my God, how do you equate your protesting or saying these things with following the letter of the law? That is insanity. That is Nazi mentality, that what I say should be followed, not what's right. The system's unjust to poor people. And until you realize that the system is unjust to poor people across the board, then that's it. And let me tell you this too. Not all poor people. The poor people who dress a certain way and look a certain way and this and that, they don't get hassled as much as the rest of us. And this is what I'm saying. It's not always about race. People who've hung out with me understand you have a look to you, you have a taste to you, you have a smell to you. When you grew up poor, when you grew up hustling, when you grew up trying to make it, you have this energy around you and it emanates to the people around you. And if you're educated, it scares the fuck out of them. And see, that's what people don't understand is a lot of people can't stand the fact that I'm educated. Yeah, I'm dirty, I'm trashy, I'm everything else. That's how I grew up. My mom was a hooker. Like my mom was a call girl, an escort. Okay. And then she met some scumbag and married him, and he was a fucking druggie, and a woman hit her and shit like that. And he was a disgusting piece of shit. I don't want to say his name. Edward James Scourin the second. Edward James Scourin the first, Big Ed, fucking coolest dude in the world. He looked like Santa Claus. He was the best step grandfather ever. His son was a piece of shit, but he used to beat the shit out of his son because he was a piece of shit. So, you know, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is if you're growing up poor, we all get each other. We realize that, okay, yes. Like if you're poor, we're all treated the same. If you're working poor, white, or working poor, black, there is a difference how you're treated. If you're middle class, black and white, there's a huge difference how you're treated. You see, but if you're rich, black and white, or wealthy, black and white, there's no difference how you're treated. There's no difference how LeBron James is treated compared to how John Travolta's treated, compared to how Peyton Manning's treated. LeBron James and Peyton Manning, the only difference between them is 9 million more people want to have sex with LeBron James than Peyton Manning. Short of that, there's no difference between the way Peyton Manning or LeBron James would be treated. Their color would not matter because their money is so dark and thick and green. So none of it matters. And that's why neither of them need to be heard from on anything, because they don't get it. They're not a part of the world where you get shit on, where you get trampled on, where you get fucked over. And so until people wake up to that fact, nothing will change. Now, I want to show you guys something. My fact why I'm not a big believer in the coronavirus, and I'm going to tell you why. Watch this. If Eric Garcetti truly and Gavin Newsom really believed that the coronavirus was so dangerous, and he's blowing this shit all over cars. All these people who might have washed their cars, and that's this building of rich people. Okay. So he's going to blow this into all the cars, all of our houses. So the point is, the gardener's side, they're just doing their job. I'm not even mad at them. The building hires these people, and they use these things. Instead of telling them they can't use them, they have these leaf blowers, the gas ones still, even though those aren't legal. They have gas leaf blowers, and it's the building across the way, and they blow all their shit toward Hollywood or Highland Boulevard. And the thing is, they blow it all over. But if coronavirus is so dangerous, they're also blowing that into all the windows. If anybody's sick or there's tissues or things like that, they're blowing the virus into any open windows like mine, yours, everybody else's. In your neighborhoods, if they're doing the leaf blowers and stuff, they're blowing this coronavirus all over. Oh, there's a police pursuit of a reckless driver. That's fantastic. Universal City. Go. Oh, in a Bronco. Oh, he just smashed a car. He just smashed a fucking car. Holy shit. This is a good pursuit. There you go. Bam. He just nailed another car. Holy fuck yeah. This is fantastic. This is fantastical. You should be seeing this right now. Holy shit, Knuckles. You should be seeing this right now. Fantastical. Oh shit. He just hit the middle divider, lost the tire. He just lost. This looks like the kind of motherfucker who's gonna shoot it out. Yeah, he looks like a shoot it out kind of guy. Oh, he's cutting off the truck. Okay. Oh, he's walking toward the police. Okay. Yeah, they're going to probably shoot him. Oh, no, he's down. Give ups. I hate give ups. If you're going to do it. Go for broke. You know what I'm saying? Go. Well, anyway, so speaking of pursuits. So yesterday, so what I was saying is if the coronavirus is so real, they wouldn't allow people to use the fucking leaf blowers. Blowing the virus everywhere. Remember, it could survive for however many days or hours or whatever. So when they're blowing that shit, they're blowing the virus everywhere into the air. But that's okay, and it's that dangerous. And pot shops are fucking essential. Illegal ones, too. All of them are fucking essential. Just wake up a little. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 0 people don't fucking care. Don't fucking care, and I'm going to tell you why. It's going to be legend when people go back and look at all these and they see that everything I was saying was true. Again, there's a major problem with brutality from police on all levels, happening to all kinds of people in different situations, sometimes deservedly, sometimes not, just how it goes. There's an agenda set forth on what they care about. Otherwise, Andres Guardo would have some recognition as to what happened. Jesse, I think it is, from the Marine base would have recognition. I would know her name. I would know her name. If there wasn't an agenda, I would know these people's names better. I would know more about what happened, what transpired. Why did the protests go away? Because you know why? A few Latin people came out. Nobody backed them. You didn't get all the middle class, rich white people coming out and backing you. You didn't get all the black people coming out and backing you. It was you guys by yourself, because you're not in the media's agenda. You're not in the left's agenda. And there's so many black people that realize this and are sick of it. They're so tired of it being used because nothing's getting fixed for them. Nothing is getting fixed. And that's what's bullshit. Let's fucking actually go through these areas in Chicago and Detroit and in St. Louis and in Tennessee and in Kentucky, in Los Angeles, in South Central. Let's go to all these places. And I'm right now watching the truck driver who drove through the protesters and hit the one person. And he is in Hollywood, and then the Prius. So I'm going to show you that. But yeah, just let's keep it a little real, people. Okay, so this is, sorry, let me make sure I get it right. This is the Prius. Now, if you're following, you can see this car comes running up, right? Now, the Prius didn't hit anyone, just went through. Car comes shooting up, cuts off the Prius, hits it. Now, people start getting out and attacking the car. Okay, that person's trying to reach in and attack. Now, the Prius, is trying to save their own lives. Rightfully keeps backing up, smashes into that car. Should probably go forward and take off.
Stay by.
So watch.
Stay by.
They're throwing bikes on it. They're smashing the car. Boom. Now they take off. Now, I'd have shot everybody fucking there. Yeah, tried to drive home. Oh, God forbid you don't. God forbid you want to go home. Yeah. So God forbid you just want to go home. And people decided to fucking block the way home, and you got family to get to, and you slowly pull through, and they start banging on your car and rocking it, and you fucking take off, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you're so bad." Well, let me show you what happens when you don't take off.
So, folks, here's the situation from South Central. Drivers of automobiles and trucks that enter this area can expect to, oh, look at that. Terrible. And there's no police presence down here. They will not enter the area. That's right. This is attempted murder. No, there's no shutting down Florence.
Do you understand this? So the Reginald Denny law or idea is you fucking hit the gas. I think it was Bill Hicks or Stanhope. It might have been Stanhope, who's a fucking genius. If you ever want to see a real comic, you check out Doug Stanhope. Anyway, he was saying that Reginald Denny is still driving trucks, but he never stops. Not even to drop shit off. He just slows down and lets it out, And it was this whole thing because, yeah, he basically fucking lost his life in a sense. And everything about his life is different and horrible because he stopped and didn't run people over. He should have just barreled through them. fucking just smashing them under the tires like fuck them, because he'd be fine now. He'd be perfectly fine. Instead, he's an invalid. I think he might have died, but he was an invalid forever because he stopped. So when that truck drove through, or the Prius drives through, or other people go shooting through, that's why they're old enough to remember what the fuck happened to Reginald Denny. And when they see what happened and they remember what happened to Reginald Denny, they hit the fucking gas. And they keep going. They hit the gas and they keep going. I guarantee you, man, if people started attacking this shit car I use every now and again or whatever, I am just barreling through people. I'm not even stopping. I'm not slowing down. I'm hitting the gas and I'm flying. And anyone who catches me is getting shot. What do you want me to say? What, am I an animal because I protect myself? That's insanity. That's the insanity of this world right now, though, is you're mad at the Prius for taking off. You're mad at the truck driver for running someone down. They were shaking, hitting their cars, they could all have been Reginald Denny'd. They could have all been Reginald Denny'd. I mean, seriously, guys, you have to understand, people like me, you've lost us. I was a liberal, definitely to the left, but a liberal, like a libertarian liberal. That's good shit. To the heavy left, man. Like, I mean, no, let me say, I was a liberal left leaning. I shouldn't say heavy left. That's bullshit. Left leaning. And right now, I'm definitely a Trump supporter. Like, in that I would vote for Trump. I hope he's the president. Out of the choices right now, I want Trump to win 100%. This is the other thing. People are scared. Do you realize the polls don't mean shit because most of the people are scared of you fucking Nazis? Most of the people are so scared of you Nazis that they won't admit that they're going to vote Trump. But so many of your friends are going to vote for Trump because there's no freaking way they want Biden. And they're so sick of you nut jobs. And that's me. I'll tell you right now. I am completely sick of you idiots. I am so sick of you idiots that just use no common sense in any way. You realize you are no different than the people who tried to convince everyone that as Jews were rats and were this and that. You're no different than the people who tried to convince or told everyone that black people weren't human. I mean, you're no different than those people who did all that. You're nut jobs, you're wackos, you're Nazis. Do you understand that? When you go after people or you hurt their property or you destroy their stuff because they have an opinion you don't agree with, that's a Nazi. Not a Nazi like a swastika. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nazi. Yeah, that's a Nazi. That's exactly a Nazi. And that, I mean, how you don't get that is insanity. But then you got people like Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and these idiots who live in ivory towers, who live privileged every day. Man, I went to a fucking store on Ventura Boulevard and Woodman or Fulton or whatever it was. I think it was Fulton. Yeah. Anyway, one of those streets. Fucking A, man. It's on, it's after Woodman. But it's a Ralph's with 9,000 different sections and live sushi making and all this other shit. And it's unbelievable. And they have a whole kosher section and all this stuff. But there's people of all races there. It is not by any means predominantly white or even majority white. It's a minority white there if you look around, really. But what there isn't is people of my income level really there. And it's not an area for people of my income level. But we don't get this. We don't get that they eat better than us. They live better than us. And they're every race, every gender, everything. You want to end racism, you got to end racism. Anyone who acts like their race is better, anybody who's race ethnic or centric, race centric, if you're race centric, things like that. But now they're talking about fascism. and this is just stop it. How about just act right? Let's be human. If you're not cool with just being human, then fuck off on the left, fuck off on the right. You're not needed. But that's not going to happen, right? Now, what if we did this? Follow me for a minute. We've been without sports and without all this shit for so long, right? What if we did this? What if we just stopped watching sports? What if we didn't go to the movies? We literally survive off of what's out there right now, right? Okay, so yes, some companies are going to do really good, but we do it with like Netflix or the cheapest stuff, not even Netflix. There's cheaper than that. They give you all the movies. So we just do it with them. We all sign up with those companies at the lowest rates, right? We don't go to any movies. We don't buy any movies. We don't pay for any pay-per-view. We don't go to any sporting events. We simply insist that they cap salaries, that they cap costs, that no sporting events that'll have tickets overpriced anymore. No more luxury booths, no more of that bullshit. We're all humans. We all get to sit together. Whoever gets there first gets there first. That's all. Whoever gets there first gets there first. And you get the better seats, but no more luxury booths, no more of that bullshit. No more places where people are eating lobster while you're getting peanuts. Fuck that. Everyone can have lobsters, and we could still produce more lobsters. You can grow them in lakes and stuff, like in the sense that you can you can harvest lobsters. The point I'm trying to make is we can all have everything. It's quite possible. It doesn't have to be kept apart, but we have to step back. If we just step back from everything, they have to tailor it to us. We are who they have to listen to. Whether you're left, right, or in the middle like myself, they have to listen to us if we are working class and poor. We are who they send it out to. We're the consumers, the middle class and the poor, from the poor to the working poor, from the middle class to the upper middle class. We are who they're consumers. We control it all. All we have to do is decide to not watch anything, not go to anything, not buy anything. Doesn't mean we can't watch all the free events. If commercials want to pay them, if commercials are willing to pay them, so we see the commercials, that's fine. But we're not going to go to the games. We're not going to do pay-per-view or anything else until they drop all the prices so all of us can go. And this is the thing. If you look there, there's a lot more of our seats than their seats. They do need us. As a multitude, we matter. And we make everything happen, and we consume at the highest profit level for them. We buy the foam fingers. We buy the stupid hats and everything else. It's what we do. But we can prevent them from being able to charge so much. How about a $5 fucking Dodger hat? How about that? How about every kid in the family gets a hat? Yeah, you got 5 kids in the family, but it's $25 for 5 hats. Big deal. So you get to go to the Dodgers and all have 5 hats, and everybody's happy. And you know what? The dick hole at the top makes a little less. They only make a few $1 million instead of a few $1 billion. Come on. Wake up, people. Stop with your right and your left and all this stuff. We, as a mass, control everything. You want equality? It's easy. We control it. Just start making things equal. I think most of us, this is what I'm saying, is I think there's a ton of people like myself who would have to identify as white. I don't mean have to, like I'm embarrassed, meaning I'm Jewish, 100% Jewish. My mom's a Sephardic Jew. My dad's Ashkenazi. They made Irish Aryan. But it is what it is. But I am 100% Jewish, but I have to identify as white. And now here's the thing, meaning that's what I am. I look like, so that's what I'm identified as. Boom. There's a lot of Cubans that are considered black because they look black. Same thing is what I'm saying. Okay. My point being is it doesn't matter, because if we're of the same income levels, if we're of the same working levels, if we're of the same spending levels, we control everything. All we have to do is step back from feeding them. and they'll drop their prices instantly. They'll go right to our demand. Look, wouldn't it be great to take the whole family out to a Dodger Yankee game, and there's 7 of you, 5 kids, because you're Mormon or Latin or something? No, I'm kidding. That's just, anyway. But there's like 7 of you, and you're out there, and it costs you $49, $50 for the seats. It's going to cost you $20 in hats or so, or whatever paraphernalia. And like, what, the whole night's going to cost you $100. You can do that. You can do that and cover your payments and everything else. What you can't do is spend $75 a ticket for all those kids. That's $300 and something. Then $150 on food, and then another 200 or 100 on paraphernalia. Nobody's going to be able to spend $400 or $500 fucking dollars. Well, there are people, but most of us can't spend $400 or $500 fucking $100 on bullshit paraphernalia. It's ridiculous. By the way, for those of you joining right now, I just want you to
New details surrounding the death of 18-year-old Andres Guardado. An independent autopsy shows he was shot 5 times in the back by LA County deputies last month. The report also reveals he did not have any drugs or alcohol in his system at the time. Guardado was on duty as a security guard for a Gardena body shop. Investigators say he was carrying an illegal firearm and ran from deputies, but family members dispute that claim.
What this confirms is that he was unjustifiably shot in the back, and it was an...
You know what I want you guys to look at too? Look at his lawyer. Did you see his lawyer? His lawyer looks like a used car salesman. So why does he get a lawyer who looks like a used car salesman and everyone else gets these fantastic fucking lawyers? Like, seriously, like this kid really did nothing. Pumpkin seeds. Yeah, unprofessional, bitch. I don't care. Reality. This kid did nothing. But he gets a lawyer who looks like a used car salesman. Everybody else has a lawyer who looks like they just won 57 cases in a row. I don't know. I don't think it's fair. I think it's completely unjust what's happened. Sorry, I was really hungry. I needed the salt. I made myself a fruit margarita and it hit me a little heavy. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I'm saying. Follow this. And again, for those of you just jumping in right now, I want to repeat this. So here, so we have a car going through. They're just trying to get through, but then they were getting totally harassed. This is right by where I live. Okay, so they get through. Now cars start chasing them. People, etc. I can already hear the protest starting outside, by the way. Oh, that was gunshots. Anyway, that's my neighborhood. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Now, people are like, oh my God, well, why would you run through them? Why wouldn't you stop? Yeah. Well, why would you run through them? Why wouldn't you stop? They're just protesting. They were shaking their cars. Now, maybe the drivers were old enough to remember.
So, folks, here's the situation from South Central. Drivers of automobiles and trucks that enter this area can expect to, oh, look at that. Terrible. And there's no police presence down here. They will not enter the area. That's right. This is attempted murder.
So that's why people run through protesters, because they don't want to get Reginald Denny'd. That's a simple fact. It's a thing. Reginald Denny. You fucking hit the gas. I'll deal with the cops later when I'm alive and I'm not paralyzed. But I'm going to run over human speed bumps at 40 miles an hour because fuck them. Especially, oh my God, if my kids are in the car, I'll run through these motherfuckers core. Like, just even start shaking my car, even hit my car. I'll run through so quick. Yeah, I'll be human speed bumps. Brrr, brrr. Insane. Insane. I would be like this. Bah, 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 bah. I don't give a fuck. Don't be there. I would say I would do this. Everybody move, please. I'm going to run. And shoot. And the second they didn't, just boom, 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 bah, 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 bah. Hang on, kids. It's a roller coaster. Human roller coaster. I mean, it's insanity. Nobody wants to get Reginald Denny. People need to realize that. Wake the fuck up, America. Stop letting your head get filled with bullshit from a bunch of rich people from the left who have this agenda going on, whatever it is. Again, keep in mind, SB 45 passed. It's a law that makes it easy to be a pedophile. If you don't see the agenda, little by little, every time you hear Black Lives Matter, you also hear Trans Lives Matter. Pedo, or whatever they call it now, something more adorable, where young love people, Mambala matters. They're including that in there too now. Little by little. Like pretty soon, rubbing Joe Biden's legs won't just be a story. It'll be part of the White House tour for kids. You get to go, they go and they rub Joe's leg hairs because he loves that. He just goes, and you know what I'm saying? But it'll all be fine because it's just love. And the kids like it, right? No. Pedophilia is the worst thing in the world. Simple. I think we can all agree that pedophiles are the worst people in the entire world. Yo, Robin, what's up? Pedophiles are the worst people in the entire world. The fact that there's a group that supports them that's safe is crazy. The fact that we're not focused on that there's organizations, the fact that the internet won't cut off everything, like this won't censor itself from making all these things not available because they should be available in our face. They should not be available unless asked for or searched for. Toothpicking. They should not be available. Sorry, pumpkin seed in my tooth. They should not be available unless they were asked for. I mean, who doesn't agree with that? Does anyone not agree with that? I think pornography should not be made available unless asked for or searched for. If you search for it, cool. If you want to find it, find it. Like, it'll be there. But you got to want to find it. You can't look up banana bread recipes, then all of a sudden get banana bread recipes and men with banana cocks. That's not right. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just censor that? That if you want porn, you got to look for porn. You want violence, you got to look for violence. You got to search it out. Like, hey, violent videos. Cool. That's what you like. It's out there. It's a free country. But it's a free country, but I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. It's quite possible. Like, I don't think enough of you take the time to think maybe you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe I am an idiot. Like, I'm going to say this, and it's not going to be popular, but I'm lost. I want someone to explain to me. I really want someone to explain to me from that why police officers And I'm not a fan. Other than my almost daughter's husband, and oh, by the way, she isn't my daughter, but my almost daughter's husband is a sheriff. So I still feel connected to her. I don't know why, but I do. But other than her, like I haven't had a good relationship with cops. Not a horrible one, but I haven't had a good one by any means. I've constantly been targeted. Everybody who knows me knows that I've been to an unbelievable degree. There's no way that I don't get 100% what it's like to be pulled over for no reason. Unbelievably amount of times I've been pulled over, especially when I had my long braids, but even when I had my shaved head, on and on, no matter what I've had, I've always looked like the person you need to pull over to cops. They've always pulled me over for something. They've always been fucked up to me for something. I got handcuffed and put in the back of a car for a hate crime against a Jewish person who didn't realize when they made it up that it was a hate crime that I was Jewish. And that I'm not super proud of it, but I have the Star of David. I mean, I'm proud of the Star of David. I'm not proud that I got a tattoo of it, but I have the Star of David tattooed on my chest. When the cops finally calmed the fuck down, because I was about 195, 200 pounds, like really built. And with a shaved head. When the cops finally calmed down and took a second to look at my tattoo like I asked them to, they went, oh, huh. All right, well, we're out of here. And I go, wait, I want him arrested. He poked me in the chest. I never touched him. And they go, well, we're just going to go. What the fuck? But that was my dealings with cops all the time, but it was insanity. Well, I got arrested in South Central LA. There's a video of it. I was arrested for just living there. No reason. My hair was just out. I had no shoes or anything on. Whitest legs in the world. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And the cop driving by saw me and thought I was breaking into homes because I didn't look like I belonged there. Cuffed me and everything, even though my daughter was right there, all in front of her, and she's crying and everything. Insanity that this kid's been through. Seriously. Because of nothing that's really been on purpose, but just the insanity she's been through, like shit like that. She hates cops. My daughter hates cops because literally she's seen me cuffed so many times for no reason and then always let go. A guy chased us down on Santa Monica Boulevard. I called the cops. They got there and cuffed me because the guy was an old white guy in a Cadillac. They cuffed me. I was the passenger in the car my son was driving. But the guy was trying to fight with my son. Then when he saw me, he changed his mind. This is when I had my braids too. And he changed his mind real quick about wanting to do anything. I got out of the car. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You want to get down? And then the cops show up. I call them. They arrest me. Santa Monica PD or LAPD in Santa Monica. And the sheriff arrest me. Or, like cuff me and everything. And my kids are like, are you serious? This guy was like chasing us down. My dad didn't do anything. They go, oh my God. My kids even said, oh my God, this always happens to my dad. And they were saying that, and my daughter was crying. It was a whole thing. And then the cops tried to apologize to her, but then the one cops wouldn't. It was a whole fucking thing. I love it. Here's the deal. What I'm trying to say is I'm not a big fan, but somebody needs to explain to me how you're going to hold accountable cops who are told to go serve a warrant on a house. Now, keep in mind, not the person who told them, the person who didn't find out the right information and fucked it up, they should be held for negligent homicide. That's what it's called, negligent homicide. Their negligence led to a murder, led to a killing. They should be arrested and tried on that. I don't know about the bullets going elsewhere. That's stupid. Just based on what happened, it should be negligent homicide because the person they were looking for wasn't there. Right there. The cops that went in without prior knowledge, it wasn't their job to look it up. It was their job to serve the warrant. It wasn't their job to know anything more than serving the warrant and arresting this person. They were told this person's supposed to be there and everything. They went in, somebody fired at them, they returned fire. Unfortunately, this woman died. They keep showing her as an EMT, and she wasn't a working EMT at the time. This is the insanity of it all. She wasn't a bad person, but she wasn't an angel. Nobody, but she didn't have any reason to be killed. There was no reason that she should have been killed. This was complete negligence. It was a negligent homicide that happened. And it was horrible. And it happens all the time, and it's horrible every time it happens. This is why there's so many ways to avoid this, and they don't use them. But there's so many ways to avoid this that they could do. And rather than institute them, we do this bullshit because they want what they want to happen. So what I'm trying to say is I need someone to explain to me why the cops should be responsible if they had no idea that they were at that where they were at, the suspect was not there. They had no idea the suspect was in custody. They had no idea of anything. They knew they were going in to it was actually not a no-knock warrant. They said they knocked and then kicked in the door. Who knows? But all I'm saying is they got shot at. They shot back. What happened? Awful. Fucking awful. Let me explain this too. If it was my kid, I'm going after the officers. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to kill him. But whoever shot my kid is going to fucking die for shooting my kid in this mistake. And the person who gave the shitty information, they're going to fucking die too, right? But that's me personally. That's my vengeance, eye for an eye. That's not the law. The law is this. They were doing their job. What happened was horrible. But can someone explain to me how they should be held for murder when they had no idea that that the information was wrong? They just knew that somebody was shooting at them. And from their side, they said that they yelled police and this and that. I don't know if they did or didn't. I don't know. And I wouldn't pick either side to believe. I'm just simply saying, and the fact that they keep showing the pictures of her in the sweetest possible light, but they have deleted everything about her prior to this incident. Obviously, because there'd be pictures that didn't show her in the sweetest light. It doesn't mean she was bad by any means. No, I don't think she was. It just means, like myself, her life wasn't perfect growing up and this and that, but she shouldn't be dead. That's a tragedy. If I was her family, yeah, I'd fucking want vengeance. But the rest of you, what's your battle with, like, the police fucked up? The person responsible, again, should go to jail for negligent homicide. It's probably like 15 years or something. But they should go to jail for negligent homicide. It's horrible to fuck up that bad, to lose a life. That's inexcusable. But negligent homicide is what it's called. It's just the law. It would happen to anyone, and that's how it would go down. But that's what should happen. I agree people should be pissed that whoever's at fault wasn't charged with negligent homicide. If people were saying this is bullshit, the person who gave the misinformation needs to be charged with negligent homicide and not some bullshit about shooting almost a neighbor. Well, then I'm with you. Sorry, pumpkin seed in the tooth. Then I'm with you. But if you're asking that they be charged with murder as though they went in there to kill a person for no reason, with malice, that's insanity, I think. Or I'm insane. Do you see what I'm saying? Or I'm insane. But again, there was a radio woman out here, Joy something, or I don't know what her name is. Again, it was just so annoying to hear her because she was like, yeah, we made shirts and we that doesn't change the law. Like, I just don't get it. And I don't get how people aren't way more pissed about Andre Gerardo, who they didn't find a gun. There was no recovery of a gun. And he was shot 5 times in the back. Maybe we should be a lot more pissed about him. That's insanity. That was a young, innocent life taken while he was working. For whatever reason, he was scared of the police. I don't know the reason he was scared of the police, but he took off. But they weren't there for him to begin with. But to shoot him in the back for taking off doesn't make sense. But it's blown over. That's what I don't understand. That's okay. But then this situation, you want cops to go down for murder when their intention wasn't to murder anyone. No. Let me say, I don't know. Maybe there was some deep, dark personal thing, and they had some whole dealing or something, and their whole objective was to kill her. That's possible. If you're telling me that, that's conspiracy, but I'm willing to fly with a conspiracy. But if you were saying that those cops were responsible because they were given bad information and sent to the wrong place and then fired upon first and then returned fire, I don't understand it. I want to. Like, trust me. I want my daughter safe. It means the world to me. She's my little mini-me. Like, I live and breathe her. Every once in a while, every month or two, when she goes and sees her mom for a day or two, I shit my pants the whole time. I'm so scared that something bad's going to happen, or because last time the police had to come over because my ex was fighting with her mom, like insane shit. And I'm so scared when she does one, but I want them to have a relationship, but I'm so scared to death when she is there. She's my life. So yeah, I get it. I mean, I can feel it as much as anyone in the sense that as a father of a child who's black, and I say that because she's Jewish and black, but she's black in the eyes of America. She's black. And I'll just pull up a pic real quick, just so you understand exactly, just so the one person watching knows what the fuck I'm talking about. That, you know, like, oh yeah. But meaning, hold on. Sorry. I want to make sure there's no dick pics that pop out and this and that. You know how that goes. Oh, this is a great pic, right? Come on. Can someone tell me this isn't great? Eric Adolf Garcetti. Eric Adolf Hitler Garcetti. Come on. This guy's the worst person in the world. Literally, he's worse than Newsom. Newsom's at least doing some positive shit. Garcetti is the worst person in the world. In the world. Hold on. And then just so you get it, like, I'm going to go way deep old. Where am I? How old do I get to go? Oh, this was the best. This is when she told me she looked like she was mafia. She goes, "Hey, Dad, look, I'm mafia." I loved it. But she's black. And so in that sense, in America's eyes, she's black. So yeah, I'm scared to death. In that sense, that if this is all true, I just haven't seen it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen it that way. And that's the other thing is, you know, everyone's trying to tell me how I'm racist or I'm this or I'm that because I'm white. But my family wasn't even in this country prior to the Holocaust. I had no family in America prior to the Holocaust. We came over then. We ran like hell. We ran like our asses were on fire. Because they were. But no, we split at the Holocaust. And there's, like I said, there's lots of people, man. Lebanese, there's, people from Armenia, all over the world that don't understand why they should feel bad, like why they should feel guilty about something they've never experienced or been a part of. Like, we've never experienced white privilege. We've never experienced being a part of, any of that. We've never also been slave owners or any of that stuff. We weren't in this country. We were fighting our own battles in our countries, trying to stay alive when all this was going on, and we were never anywhere near here, and our countries didn't have anything to do with slave trades or anything. Like, that's the point people are missing. So how am I gonna fucking pretend like, that's what I'm saying, is the only people that are acting like they are guilty are these rich white people. But then they go home to their rich ass fucking homes, and so a lot of these black people, and a lot of these, and that's what I say. And again, I go back to the story at the mall in Beverly Hills. Me and my daughter were the only people that helped the young black girl. All the black people, white people, and everything else, all these rich ass people split like fuck, ran away from her, left her alone. We helped her. Was she perfect? No. Was she a little scattered? Yeah. But so what? Doesn't mean that security can rush her out with the person she's fighting with if that person is like 9,000 times her size. It was insanity. But we stood up for her. But I'm the racist. That's what I'm saying, is like, I've never been brought up. I'm so many generations removed from isms. Nobody in my family except my mom's, who I don't even speak to my mom, but my mom's husband is a piece of shit racist. But I don't speak to them at all because of that type of shit. My mom never was. She dated lots of dudes that were Latin and Arabic and black and everything else. We didn't. Funny enough, I remember, weird story, but my mom was dated this black guy, and she literally, I think, like, she told us like, oh, he's black, and we were like, okay, because we didn't care. My dad never cared about that type of shit. He was 6'2", 350, a big Brooklyn Jew, like huge, badass, like looked mob dude, right? It's kind of why he died. But oh, thank you, man. That's going up. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal: is thank you, Robin. Robin Leach, people, fucking in love, right? You're in love, right? I got the right person. I love one of you or Brian. One of you are in love. And I love that you guys are in love because it's so enjoyable watching you being so happy. I am being honest. I love it. Anyhow, the point I'm trying to make is, so my dad didn't care this and that. Now, here's what got us. So he comes to pick up my mom. Okay. And he pulls up in this Trans Am. And me and my sisters are just like, oh my God, he has a Trans Am? That is the coolest thing in the world. And we run out there like, oh my God, can we see your Trans Am and this and all that? Oh yeah, Brian. Congratulations, Brian. I'm so happy for him. Brian Wallace, man. Fine in love. Anyway, my point. We were so excited this dude had a Trans Am. I loved Smokey and the Bandit. None of us ever thought about him being black. We didn't give a shit. Who my mom dated didn't matter. Now, until she dated this Polish fucking racist piece of shit that she married, we did care about that. He was a piece of garbage. And he turned out to be a great piece of garbage. Like a total piece of garbage. But woman hit her, everything else. Just total crap. Anyway, my point is, we never cared. We were never brought up to be racist. We never thought about that shit. It was never an issue with us. My dad never cared. Like my dad, we were telling my dad about he's like, oh yeah, Trans Ams are great. My dad had a Bentley Rolls at the time. Like he wasn't my dad's wife was like 20 years younger than him, or his girlfriend at the time was a former Miss Anaheim. She was 20 years younger than him. He didn't give a shit, but he also never cared that my dad dated women that were all different races. My mom dated men that were all different races. We never cared. They never cared. Nobody ever cared. The only person who ever said anything was my grandma Elizabeth, who I loved to death. She was the greatest. But she was an old Jewish woman. And she said one time, she goes, David. But she used to tell me, David, don't you know any Jewish girls? And because I would date mostly Latin and black girls. But just because it was area, it wasn't like, I'm not making an excuse. I dated women I liked. That was all. Women I liked, didn't care about the race, period, across the board. So did plenty of white women too. So I had no preferences. My preference is factory built vagina. That's what I care about. The vagina's got to be factory built. Here's the point. My grandma told me one time, David, look, don't you at least know any white girls? But she was like, she was being silly. But the point I'm trying to make is that nobody in my family, except for the idiot my mom married, ever was racist. So nobody of my blood was ever racist. Nobody ever cared. My dad never cared. Like he didn't care. He just wanted my mom to be happy. He was happy. You know, that was all. My mom was gorgeous. She was a bitch, but she was gorgeous. She was an alcoholic, but gorgeous. Great door knocker nipples, everything. I swear to God. Yeah, for some of you that didn't want to fuck your mom, it's because you had ugly moms. I did. I always tell people that. People never get that. You know, I always say, like, yeah, you ever want to fuck your mom? They're like, ugh. I go, yeah, because you had an ugly mom. You don't want to fuck my mom. I'm just saying. I used to pretend I was scared and then hope she'd see my boner and want to fuck. Yeah. I had porno things in my head where she'd come in and go, oh, are you okay? And I'd go, yeah, Mom. She'd go, is that your boner? And I'd go, oh, sorry. And she'd go, well, let me help you with it. Yeah, I'm a sicko, like the rest of the world. We're all crazy, so to speak, but none of us are. We should be all able to do our stuff. I didn't rape my mom. That's where the line's crossed. You see, you can't do weird shit. You can't physically do the shit you're not allowed. Like, that's not cool to do. Now, if my mom wanted to throw down and we fucked, that would have been different and I'd have been fine with it. I'm just saying, the point I'm trying to make is, sorry your mom was ugly. Sorry your mom didn't have great nipples and huge titties. The point, and a six-pack. I'm just saying, fucking 9,000 kids and this bitch had a six-pack. What was up with her? Here's the point. This is why I'm 50 and I look like this. This is why I look like this at 50. That's what my mom was gorgeous as a woman. And at like 60 looked like this. Well, she didn't look like me because I'm a man. But like I said, I'm 50 years old. I look like this for a weird reason. I don't get it. It's some alien shit, but my mom had it. The point I'm trying to make, people, is wake up to the world around you. None of it matters. We're all doing weird shit. A lot of people are putting things in their asses. A lot of people are fucking weird things. A lot of people are doing weird shit. As long as you're not raping anyone, hurting anyone, molesting anyone, pedophiling anyone, killing anyone, doing any of that shit, or forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to do, then fucking rock your world and let everyone else rock theirs, as long as they're not forcing or hurting anyone else against their will. That's all it is, man. My ex-wife used to step on dicks and peg men. I didn't care what she did before me, but she never touched my ass or stepped on my dick because it's not what I'm into. We used to do the whippy thing a little. That was fun. But we never did the dick step. And no woman, I'm going to tell you this. I've never understood why you got women fucking you in the ass, man. There are men that got dicks factory built that will fuck you in the ass. Just go do it. Stop lying to yourself. Stop trying to hang on to the fact that, oh, that's gay. No. Having a woman fuck you in the ass is equally as gay as having a man do it. Stop lying to yourself. Just free yourself. It's okay. Here's the thing. Everything's okay, but you can't fuck with kids under 18. Or you can't fuck with nobody under 18 if you're over 18. You get that? You can't fuck with anyone over 18 or under 18 if you're over 18. You can't fuck with anyone under 18 if you're over 18. There you go. Short of that, 18 and up, go crazy. Even if you're 90 and they're 18. Law says it's legal, rock on. I think it's disgusting, so what? A lot of people thought my ex-wife and me, nobody thought that. But a lot of people think a lot of people with 18, 20 years difference is disgusting. I just happen to look very young, so nobody knew that. Oh, man, Naeem, I hope you're doing okay, my brother. Guys, let's give a prayer out to Naeem Muhammad. We saw him on our show last night. He was hit by a car. I'm going to text him in a few minutes and make sure he's okay. Our prayers are with you, brother. What a good guy, too, man. A true good soul. You know, and he said a funny point. He goes, you know, he basically said, you know, I was kind of a lunatic. But he goes, you know, everybody knew. You never cared what race anyone was. And that's always been the truth. I don't give a shit what anyone is. Because why should I? And nobody better give a shit what I am, because I don't give a fuck anyway. And nobody should give a fuck what I think anyway. If you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying, though? Like, follow me on this. Ready? I don't give a fuck. So therefore, nobody should give a fuck about fuck. You shouldn't care that I don't care. I don't care that you don't care. None of us should care about any caring. We should just go on and live our lives and not hurt anyone else and not block anyone else from being them. That's all. But as long as being them doesn't block anyone else or hurt anyone else. It's that simple. It's a simple recipe, people. Share the fucking video. Make me Flamous. I want to be famous. I want to be famous. I want to be the first guy who says, I don't claim anything. I have no labels. I'm a human and I fuck. That's what I am. I'm telling you right now. I'm human and I fuck. That's all you got to know about me. And then I'm a really good dad, a funny comic, a great teacher, things like that. But I'm a human and I fuck. How, where, and when? Don't worry about it, because ain't nobody underaged and ain't nobody against their will. If you can say that, you're all right in life. If you could say you are a human that fucks and you ain't doing it to nobody underage and you ain't doing it to nobody against their will and nobody not taking away from anyone's life, then you're doing all right and you're not a piece of shit. If you can't say that, you're possibly a piece of shit unless you ain't never fucked. But you could say you're a good human. Then you're, you know what I'm saying?